All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for our Saturday episode. I took some breaks. My brain cells needed to be regenerated. I've actually been playing around with some other stuff because I'm actually creating other YouTube channels. I got to have something to do when this is finished. All right, so before we get started, we are on chapter 50. We got Darcy, we got Paul. Uh, Pretty sure we'll probably have some other people. And I just noticed that my avatar says DSQ instead of DQS. Oh well. Anyway, let's start with one of our favorite intros. Hey, now that I've paid for it, I can make my own, but I pay for the other one too, so what the hell? Alrighty now, let's bring up the famous Quran. And there's no way it would take me too long before I get to that level of creativity. So I think I'll pay the $20 to the other side to do some intros. Okay, so we are on chapter 50. Now, chapter 50, I was thinking maybe it has something to do with Q. As you see, Q goes back to the 7th century. So it's not a conspiracy theory. All right, where's my Quran? Nope, wrong one. Hold on a second. I got to get my little notes. So we're on chapter 50. I got to go to 51 and then go back a little. Oh, there's 6 of them. Okay. All right, chapter 50. The chapter of Q. And let's see, Q. An Arabic letter without any meaning. Muhammad claimed it to be an enormous mountain that surrounds the earth until resurrection day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, anybody know of a mountain that surrounds the earth? I mean, I don't.
That sounds contradictory,
Yeah.
but then he wouldn't know that because he's
Yeah.
not God.
All right. So we start off with Q, an unknown Arabic letter. I swear by the glorious Quran, yet they wonder
Wait.
that it
Didn't
warned.
you just say earlier that the Quran didn't exist at this time period?
Uh,
It
I
was still
mean,
being handed down, right?
yeah. I
So
mean, when I read Quran, I'm thinking about a book. Now, Muslims will say it also
recitation.
means, yeah, recitation.
Okay,
I
but
swear by,
which recitation if it's singular?
yeah,
Or
I don't,
that's a problem.
yeah.
By
I mean,
the
the whole,
glorious, if there is, yeah, it's really problematic. I don't know if that is considered a plural Quran if they're going to use recitation.
no, usually when it's plural in the Arabic, it does have an S. But, have we found anything that actually really makes sense in the Quran in the
A
50 chapters?
very rare occasion we have
Yeah,
a
yeah,
coherent
yeah,
piece.
every now and then. Hold on a second. Let me invite, I don't know, Larry. Larry's working today, but I'll put it here in the background if somebody wants to join. All righty. Okay. Oh, okay. Got new brain cells. I swear by the glorious Quran, yet they wonder that a warner from among them came to them. So the infidels said, this is a strange thing. What is the strange thing? What if we died? Okay, somebody's got a background echo.
Shouldn't be me, but let's see. I don't think I do.
Darcy is muted. Okay, I don't hear it
That
now.
leaves me.
I'm in the wrong. Okay. Okay. This is a strange thing. What if we died and we were dust? This return is far off. Okay. And what is he
Does that
talking
make any sense to you?
about? No.
What if, and we were dust, this return of what? Oh, I just heard it.
I'm thinking.
Do you have YouTube
Yeah,
on?
no, I don't. I'm thinking this is referring to the day of judgment when everybody's supposed to be resurrected. I'm thinking. You know, I do that every now and then. Still more than what Allah does, but
Well, Allah
All
just
right,
isn't very clear. He doesn't communicate very well.
so let's go to 4. Indeed, we know what the earth diminishes of them, and with us is a keeper book. What the hell does that mean?
I
Did he
understand what a
mention?
bookkeeper is, but
Right.
keeper,
I was just
a
gonna
book
say,
to keep?
was he thinking about a bookkeeper?
Okay, so he's looking for someone who does jobs like you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Now, did he mean
Allah needs a
the
bookkeeper.
ministers of them with us is a keeper of the book? That would have made sense.
Okay,
I still
that's
would
a
have.
bookkeeper.
Yeah, I still would have. I still would have asked what book,
Yeah, we
but
don't
that's
know,
okay.
that's for sure. There's
All
no
right, number
Quran
5.
yet.
Yet they denied the truth when it came to them, so they are in a state of confusion. Allah, have you read this book?
Probably not. Or he's read it and he's confused.
All right. All right, brother Osama says this is another proof that the heaven is a solid structure. Now we have seen verses that allude to the heavens clearly being something that's solid. I think there was a verse about something about it cracking. I mean, how do you
That's
crack
right.
space? A solid structure like a ceiling. The earth is flat, according to the Islamic scholar Al Qurtubi. This verse provides a great deal of proof that the earth is flat rather than being round. All right.
And
Have
these
they?
guys never traveled.
No, it doesn't seem like they've traveled out of.
They
Hey,
probably
Larry,
never
if
left
you
the desert.
Larry, if you want to come up, I posted the link somewhere in the chat.
Actually, most of them didn't live in the desert, if I remember correctly. They just lived hundreds of miles away and had
Yeah.
no clue.
Well, I mean, you'd want to live in a place where at least you're close to food and water.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, who wants to live where there's no food?
Okay, number 6. I was talking about cracks, and here we have some cracks. Have
Okay.
they not? Have they not looked to the heaven? Now, notice now it's only one heaven above them. How we built it and adorned it, and it does not have any cracks. And the earth we have spread it out and have thrown the stabilizers on it and have caused plants to grow in it. Okay.
That's kind of an odd in and on are two different things, so it's kind of an interesting concept.
And are the
So are there
plants?
plants growing inside the earth or are
I was thinking, are the plants growing on the earth or are they growing on the stabilizers, which is basically the mountains? So Allah says we have spread it out, we have cast down the mountains
in
on it.
it? Yeah, it
Yeah,
okay. No, because the stabilizers are on it.
the earth.
So
Yeah,
you
the
would
earth.
have to have the plants. Wow, that
So
is
the
confusing.
plants. So Allah caused the plants to grow in it, meaning the earth,
Hmm.
from every beautiful pair. I don't know what that means,
I
but
guess Allah doesn't know that you don't need pairs to have in plants. I mean, he's not very intelligent. He doesn't know that.
and this one here makes no sense. Enlightenment and a reminder to every turned servant.
To
So
what?
is he saying the heavens, the heaven without the crack, and the earth, and the stabilizers and the plants from every beautiful pair, they're an enlightenment and a reminder to every turned servant.
We don't know what a turned servant is.
I have no
That
clue.
would be, what are they, turned away? I mean, servants, it's problematic. I'm curious if they use the word servant and slave interchangeably. With
I
Semitic languages, that's not unusual.
Right. I'd have to look at the Arabic, but
Mm-hmm.
okay. Number 9. And we sent down blessed water from the heaven. So we caused the gardens and the harvest grains to grow by it. And the tall palm trees with clusters of fruit stalks in their branches.
Okay, this is not in the desert.
Maybe Allah's talking about an oasis.
Well, we have a problem even with that concept. Fruit in an oasis in a desert. Right? No, you got to have. It's just still not going to work.
And okay, and fruit stalks in in their branches. I think it should be on their branches.
But again, this if we're talking about somebody who knows Arabic as a second language, this works because these are the little intricacies of somebody who knows a second language, and that's just. I mean, it's just that kind of concept.
A provision to the servants, and we give life to a dead country by it. Likewise, the coming out. Number 2,
So
resurrection.
he's saying that water gives life to dead country, and he's always making a he's done this multiple times, that rain brings things back to life. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that his references to it, I mean, you can't like bring life to the desert. You have to do certain things. You can't just use sand and expect to get dirt out of it. There's a
Right.
whole lot of work. Allah doesn't know that.
And number 2 says coming out, period, but I don't really know what number 2 refers to.
Maybe he's coming out as a, oh boy.
I'm coming out. There
Do
is a song called
you want
Coming
me to
Out.
put number 2 or
Well, number 2 it says resurrection, but I'm not quite sure where that fits.
coming out resurrection? That's
Well, see, there's a period right after
okay.
coming
So
out.
if we look
So
at this, okay, it can almost fit. So let's look at, and I'm saying this because we give life to a dead country by it. So that's resurrection right there. Likewise, if they're going to say coming out, they can use the coming out to refer to resurrection. It's a resurrection of dead land coming back to life. That's just they don't have a human being resurrected. They have land being resurrected.
right. Okay, number 12. Before them, the people of Noah and the companions of Ras and Thamud denied. Who's Ras?
I have no idea. Have we ever heard of a Ross before?
No, this is the first time I've heard of Ad and Thamud. Hold on a second. This is 50 verse 12. Let me see what the Islamic awareness says because I've never heard of that one. Uh,
Apparently,
50,
Ross isn't as important as Tamud
50 verse
or
12.
Ad or the Pharaoh or Lot or Tuba or Tuba.
Well, I mean, the word for word says denied before them the people of Noah and the companions of Ras and Thamud. I have no freaking clue who Ras is. Just came out of the blue. Because typically
Well,
it
I mean, if
says
they were
Ad
important, you'd think
and Thamud.
I think this is just another made-up group of people. We don't know who Tamud is, and they're made up. There's no evidence that these people ever existed. But when you got to make things up, might as well just make things up.
And then okay, so now 13 includes Od and Pharaoh and the brethren of Lot and the
Now
companions of
this is problematic here because the way this reads, Ras, Tamud, Ad, Pharaoh, and Lot all live at the same time. This is the chronologically inept, disturbed, traumatic brain injured Allah. I mean, he can't tell that these people did not live at the same time.
Oh, but it gets better because it's kind of like 12, 13, and 14 are all one
Yeah,
sentence. So Od and the Pharaoh and the brethren of Lot and the companions of the woods and the people of Tuba, never heard of them. So now we got Ross and Tuba.
it would most likely be Tuba because of the two
Tuba,
B's.
Tuba, kind of like Bubba. They
Yeah.
all denied the messengers. So my threat becomes established. That makes no sense.
What threat? Did you see a threat here?
No.
Okay, the Ad and the brethren of Lot. Okay, unless he did something horrible to Ras and Tamud and Ad, like he did to, I guess, to Egypt, and I guess their concept of the brethren of Lot is Sodom and Gomorrah. They weren't brethren of Lot, but then Allah doesn't know that. He keeps proving it over and over again. He really doesn't know things.
Yeah, but what's
But
odd have to do with the Pharaoh? And also, I think since all those people are in the past,
mhm. But
it
he
should say,
doesn't know that.
so my
Allah doesn't
threat.
know this.
So it should say, so my threat became established.
But
Because
he
this,
can't do that because he's got them in the present tense. He's referring to them all as if they all live at the same time.
yeah.
I mean that all these people, not Noah. Noah comes after them. He does it, and this is where it gets really humorous. The people of the companions of Russ and okay, before them, the people of Noah and the companions. This is even more hilarious. Let's look at 12 again. Before them, the people of Noah, and so Noah and Ross and Tamud and Ad and Pharaoh and Lot were all on the ark together. According to this, that just makes it even more hilarious. Allah really doesn't know this.
Okay,
Allah
but
is so chronologically inept. He's got such severe TBI that he really needs some medical assistance.
now my question would be before them. Them who? Because this would have to be before Noah. Now 15 does not fit in there. Are we worried with the first creation?
I
Oh,
guess Allah, again, being chronologically impaired with TBI. I mean, again, if he has TBI, traumatic brain injury, he doesn't know that, when he did this. Is this today? Is it yesterday? Is it years ago? He doesn't have a concept. I would say God's concept of time should be different, but the concept of God being tired, we have a problem here. This is a human.
now Andrew says that the word Tubba was in 44, 34 to 37.
Yeah, I think I remember it being seen before, but I don't
I don't.
remember
I definitely
Ross.
know Roz. Roz, I haven't seen that one before. I mean, it's possible. This is not the clearest book. Okay, so 15, and we wearied with the first creation. Oh, are we
I can
wearied?
look that up real quick if you want.
Yeah.
44, 34 to 37. Just a second. 34.
I guess
Okay,
Brother Larry's
34.
busy.
Surely those will say, that's really, there will be only our first death and we will not be raised. So bring our fathers if you are truthful. Are they better or the people of Tubba
Hmm.
and those who were before them? We destroyed them. Surely they were criminals. So
Hmm.
Tubba
All
got
right. So,
destroyed.
well, all
Pharaoh's
these
people
people.
got destroyed. Solomon, I guess that's where the threat is. Allah enjoys he enjoys torture, so that would be the threat. Maybe he's tired, and this concept of him having to do a creation. I mean, Allah
Yeah.
doesn't understand. He's so inept, he doesn't know what the word creation means. He proves it over and over again.
So yet they are in doubt about a new creation. What new creation is this? What was the first creation, and what is this new creation?
Well, this is where I keep saying Allah doesn't know what the word creation means. In order for this creation is creating something out of nothing. Okay. When we talk about, I mean, in the Bible, it says he created man from dust. There was no dust. He had to create the dust, all right, to make man. That's what it comes from. All right. This is the hilarious part of this. They have no clue that creation is from nothing, ex nihilo. All right. That's I feel sorry for the people who believe this garbage, but it just demonstrates ignorance. Allah
All right.
doesn't know. It's just another statement. Allah doesn't understand things. And again, he's got TBI. You can see that over and over again.
Well, either he's got TBI or all the writers of the Quran got TBI. Straight
Well,
in the
I would
family.
say we're seeing the one consistency we're seeing throughout the Quran is that Allah is chronologically inept. So there's more likely one inept, and there's another consistency here, is that Allah has Arabic as a second, third, or fourth language. It is not the first language. So it's most likely one very bad, cheap, crap writer who has
You
traumatic
know,
brain injury.
Allah could have gotten a good writer at Fiverr,
Oh, yes.
and would have been cheap too. All right, 16. And indeed, we created the human, and we know what his soul whispers within him, and we are closer to him than his jugular vein. When the two receivers meet, what's number three? I have no clue what a receiver is. Is that like a FM? Recording angels. Okay, so basically it says when the two recording angels meet, one sitting on the right and one on the left,
Oh, we got stereo
he,
effect.
he will not say a word except that a watcher is prepared, present by him. Okay,
That, does that make sense?
no.
Wait.
And
Okay, if they're receivers, let's just okay, they're supposed to be angels that are listening, but he doesn't say a word. What are they supposed to be receiving?
well, they're
What's
recording
the
something.
watcher supposed to? I mean, he's prepared, but he's doing nothing because he's watching nothing happen and he's recording nothing. Sorry, this is funny.
I
Where's the
mean,
intelligence in this passage? I mean, it's recording absolutely nothing. It has no value.
oh, but 19 is a good one. And the stupor of death came with the truth. This is what you were turned away from. So now the stupor of death came with the truth. Who the hell is that?
Well, death does have impact. And there's a truth there. Everybody's gonna die at one point.
Yeah, but what does he mean by stupor?
I would say the threat or the impact. I'd have to look it up, but I think that's what it implies. I'll look it up real quick.
This is what you were turned away from. So you were turned away from being from dying, and the trumpet.
Stupor, altar of consciousness. Let's see.
So
Uh,
how can an
critical.
altar?
This would back up my statement of TBI. You ready? This is from the medical dictionary. Partial or nearly complete unconsciousness. Yes, Allah has TBI.
Yeah,
Traumatic
but the
brain
funny thing
injury.
is, how can the stupor, based on your definitions, how can it how can it be the stupor of death? I mean, does it make
So you're near death. You're. I would say you're having a near death experience. And now my question is, what are you turned away from? If you're having a near death experience, you would most likely be turned away from the wanting to go to hell. That's the only thing I think of.
20? And the trumpet was blown. This is the threatening day. Okay.
I
I
mean,
was
that doesn't make sense to me because if the trumpet's blown, it's a proclamation. You blow your trumpet not in threat, but a proclamation of victory. You
But
lead
wait
a
a minute.
charge. You lead a
Okay.
trumpet leads a charge. It's not a day of threat. It's a proclamation of victory. I mean, if you go to
Oh,
wartime ages ago, when I mean, in Civil War, you'd hear the trumpet, and they would run forward. I mean,
now okay, this is very confusing because if this is about the day of judgment or the day of resurrection, he's talking about it like it already happened. And the trumpet was blown.
past tense,
So
yeah.
is this like a vision? This is the threatening day, and every soul came with it a driver and a witness. So that means resurrection day already happened, or is this talking about what's going to happen?
Why do you need a driver to go to the threatening day? I mean, that
I
says
don't
you
know.
can't get there on your own.
What am I?
And
And what is he
what's the
driving?
witness? I mean, apparently there's a lot of problem. I mean, so you can't go there without someone driving you there, not with a car, of course, but you need at least a director. And this doesn't make sense for a number of reasons. Okay, if we're talking about every human being that's ever lived, that means for every human being there is a driver and a witness.
That's a lot of drivers and witnesses.
Yeah, this is extremely problematic. I don't
I
know
mean,
what the
right now, if everybody died, we have almost 8 billion people. So you would need 16 billion additional people so that each person could have a driver and a
well,
witness. But read 22.
okay, that's
Indeed,
16. Say it's 8 billion humans. Okay, now you
right,
need 8 billion drivers, and you need an additional 8 billion witnesses.
right. So that's 16 billion.
16 billion of those to it.
Yeah.
It's just too nutty. I'm sorry,
And
it's
that's
too
not
nutty.
even counting all the billions of people that have passed away.
Yeah,
But look at 22. Indeed, I was unaware of this. Who's
Allah
talking
doesn't
here?
know what He knows. Oh,
I
so who
mean,
was talking here? Did we ever at any time did it say like you keep saying you mentioned that it didn't say, so this must be
it
Allah
looks
does.
like
This is a proclamation that Allah doesn't know.
it looks like okay. I don't see say, but from the beginning, I don't see. I mean, I know that 16 has to be Allah speaking because it says it, and indeed we created the human, so that's Allah, and we are closer to Him than his jugular vein. That's Allah. 17 has to be Allah. 18 has to be Allah. So 21 has. So 21 would have. So I'm sorry, 22 would have to be Allah. So is Allah
Which
saying
means Allah
He's
doesn't
unaware?
know things. He's the God of perhaps.
Okay, indeed, I was unaware of this, so we removed the
There we
veil
go. It is Allah.
from you so that your sight today is iron. What?
Okay, so let's think about this. You take away a veil.
How
If
is your
your
sight
sight
iron?
is iron, I would think that means you see nothing, or your sight is protected somehow.
I mean, I mean, seriously. This is 22. Let's see what the word for word says.
This is just kind of odd. We remove from the
Okay, this
veil
makes sense.
from you so that your sight today
Sharp.
is what? What does it say?
It says sharp.
Sharp. I think they had to help it because I think this is iron, but iron isn't necessarily sharp. You can sharpen iron. Either way, it doesn't make sense.
I don't even think it's an Arabic word because my Google Translate doesn't know how to translate it. Let
Hmm.
me let me go ahead and select the whole thing here and see what it says. You were heedless of this, so we removed your cover from you. So your sight today is iron. No, it's iron. That's what Google Translate says. It's iron.
Wow.
Huh? Which would make no sense.
So the question is, do you have sight? Remove the veil from you so that your sight today. I don't think it makes. The only thing I could say from this, they're going to say that sharpened. You remove your veil, it would mean so you could see better. That's the purpose of removing a veil. But iron is a reference to usually protection or covering, maybe, which again is protection, or something in front to it. It doesn't make any sense. If you needed protection, why would he remove the veil? Let's
Yeah,
go
I
on.
mean,
That's just bizarre. Unless there's a tafsir that attempts to explain it that you could find, but I don't know if they want to do that.
we're not dealing with the
The
past here.
ideal is
Okay,
the idea
23.
is that we don't. What if you read this without a tafsir? And he did. That's what we're doing.
It's bad enough most people can't read the Quran. Now you want them to go to the tafsirs? That's why Osama would have read 10 pages of.
And they would have said, "Oh, did you learn anything?" And no.
No. All right, 23. And his companion said, "This is what is ready with me." I don't even know who's talking here.
Wait, who's the companion?
I don't know.
A companion of who? Allah?
I had no
Well,
clue.
again, we have. Okay, we don't know who's talking here, so this would imply that 22 is not Allah, unless Allah has a partner. That would be this companion here. This is a passage that implies Allah has a partner
That's a good point
because
because
I mean that's what it
because it
does, isn't it? I
because
mean,
it says, and his companion said, "This is what is ready with me. Cast every stubborn infidel into hell, the
oh,
hinderer of
so
the
Allah has
good,
a partner.
the transgressor, the doubter, whoever made other gods with Allah, so cast him also into the severe torments." His companion said, "Our Lord, I did not lead him to rebellion, but he was in a far error." Who in God's name is talking here?
We don't.
Who's saying, "Our Lord, I did not lead him into rebellion"?
Well, it's Allah's partner because we figured out that verse 22 has to be Allah speaking, and the companion, which would be Allah's partner, because there's no way it could be anything else, really. Cast every stubborn infidel into hell, the hinder of the good, whoever made other gods with Allah. So this is Allah's partner who's talking about Allah.
Hmm. Here we
Wow.
go. He said, "Do not dispute in my presence." So somebody is disputing in the presence of Allah. And indeed, I gave you warning before. The word will not change in my presence, and I will not deal unjustly with the servant. So clearly, this is Allah speaking.
Okay, so
because nobody else would say that.
Okay, so this is again. So we have Allah here. Go up to verse 22. We have Allah speaking here. The companion, his companion, which means the only companion can be would be Allah's companion. Again, Allah has a partner. This would be, if this is Momo, Mo is the companion of Allah, which makes him a partner, or that makes him guilty of shirk. I mean, it's in the Quran. Allah has a partner. It's right there.
I mean, that's the only way that this would make sense. Because then we go to 30. A day we will say to
Now
hell.
you got the reason for the royal we. It's
So
not a royal
clear.
we. It's a claim of there's more than one.
So 30 is definitely Allah speaking, or somebody speaking with
Well, it's
authority.
Allah and his partner.
Because it says, a day we will say to hell, are you filled up? And it will say, are there any more? Again, how is
Okay,
hell?
so Allah
Hell.
believes that hell is a person.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. How would an inanimate object be able to speak? Is the fire able to speak? I mean, hell.
Well, okay, we got to remember though that Allah likes to torture people. So he has, okay, let me feed you some more. This is the sick God Allah,
Well, there
the
is a
human
hadith
God Allah.
Where Allah's foot is stepping in the hellfire, and the hellfire
We
says, "Please,
can't.
no more. I am full."
You know what? Andrew said we is Jibril. So if we
I,
put
I mean,
Jibril,
I could be. I don't know.
okay, but if we put Jibril as being the we, that makes him the partner. We'll go back up here to verse 23, and Jibril becomes the partner or the companion of Allah. That makes sense if we do that. So if Allah and his companion are Jibril, which is supposed to be Shaitan, right?
I mean, could be.
That's quite a statement.
Now, Built for Speed says the partner is an accompanying angel, according to this Quran Online. Which Quran Online?
Oh, again, it's a statement that Allah has partners.
See, now Andrew says Quran is very consistent with we, us, and our being Jibril. How would we know that?
There's
There's no
nothing here
way.
nothing here that states it.
Right, there's
No place.
nothing here that would indicate.
And there's no point. At
Yeah.
no point does it say that it's Jibril.
So I'm curious, Andrew, is where did you get that from? Because I haven't seen anywhere where you would even come to that conclusion. I mean, if I had to take this to court and I had to try to prove that it was Jabril, I would have no way of, you know. But he did bring up a good point, because if Allah is only one, why is it that we see Allah using we? Now we know what we, because they'll tell. I got it from reading the Quran. But you must be reading a different Quran, because Paul hasn't gotten it. I haven't gotten it. But
Well,
I
we've been
always had a
talking
problem.
about this problem because the Quran uses the concept of royal we, but doesn't understand the concept of royal we, which is extremely problematic because it
Well,
comes before the concept of royal we is created in that. They'll say it's the royal we, but it never refers to a human and God.
yeah, but then Quran also has a problem, because Allah uses the word us and our,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which I'm not aware of it
yeah, that
being.
would be included in the concept of royal we.
You know, Jabril is like he's like the Legion. It could be. Maybe that's he gets around. That's for sure. Let's go
Well,
back, because we're almost.
you know what, it makes sense that Allah's partner would be Shaitan
I mean, could
because
be. I
that would
mean,
explain his love of torture.
Allah brings hate between people. Shaitan brings hate between
Mm-hmm.
people.
He's
Allah
into
leads people
division.
astray. Satan leads people astray. I mean, you put two and
He
two
threatens
together,
people. Allah threatens people. Satan threatens people. Yeah.
yeah, It's kind of like in law, there's a thing called the pattern of behavior. So if you can establish that pattern of behavior, you can kind of whittle down to, okay, that person, like for instance, now it's not 100% conclusive, but let's say there's a particular individual who always robs banks and he leaves behind a certain brand of cigar.
Okay,
Okay.
he always, so it wouldn't say he always. This is one guy who likes to rob banks, right?
Well, but he always, after he leaves the bank,
Yeah,
he always leaves his cigar. So
and he
one day
thinks it's
this guy
funny.
gets
Yeah,
arrested and he happens to have the same cigar. Now, you can't say 100% that that's the guy, but you
but
got
sure
something to
makes
go
you think.
on. Right. You got something to go on to do more investigation and, maybe do a stakeout.
Now you find out that cigar is rare, and you're more likely
Right.
going to put that guy away for a good
Right.
long time.
All it has
Yeah,
to come is
I have a
personality.
question though.
Okay.
I have to wonder who is Dr. Jekyll and who is Mr. Hyde?
I think that depends on which side of Allah the companion wakes up on.
Well, that's the same thing with who is the Hulk and who is David
I
Banner.
mean, we didn't make
Depends.
this stuff up. It's in the Quran. I mean, it's right
It
there.
depends who pisses him off. You piss him off, he's the Hulk. You don't piss him off, he's the Dr. Banner. Okay, 31. And the garden will be brought near the fearing, not far away. What is that? What the hell does that even mean? And why
Not
is it only one garden? I thought it was gardens.
the garden. Apparently, the garden is able to be physically moved. I mean, you would think the people would have to be moved. Why do you pick up a garden and move it? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
That's a good point. That's a good point that I wasn't even thinking
Maybe it's
about
the
that.
garden.
That's a good point.
I mean, if you're thinking about a guy with traumatic brain injury doing the writing, who's using Arabic as a second or third or fourth language, okay, traumatic brain injury makes sense because he's got chronological impairment. He can't tell past, present, and future. He can't differentiate them. But if I was listening to someone who's chronologically impaired and I thought, okay, traumatic brain injury, and he starts talking about people picking up a garden and moving it, I'd be thinking, okay, maybe it's time for a little extra help. Why didn't
I
somebody
mean,
do that with the guy who wrote this stuff? Give
I,
him a little extra help.
you know what? I'm gonna have to work on that brainwave entrainment to regenerate your brain cells
I
after
think
reading
Allah
this.
needs some help because he's definitely a physical person from what we're reading.
Maybe the garden is on pulleys or something. I don't know. It's on a wagon. 'Cause, yeah,
It could
how
be
can
up on
you?
a cloud for all we
Yeah,
know. He's
I
talking
mean,
about all these waters underneath it. That could be the water in the cloud.
how can you bring a garden? I mean,
I
ugh,
mean, you can put a garden on wheels.
on
I
the
get
cart.
that on a
Yeah,
cart,
yeah.
but the garden
Well,
he
that's
refers to always has water underneath. Okay, I guess you can put a pipe underneath it, and and feed water into that thing, but it still doesn't work well.
all right. So 32. But here's the thing: it's going to be brought near to the fearing, not far away. Again, this is like the most. Oof.
Near but
Okay.
not far.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the purpose of not far away? It's redundant. But that's why we again the writer is like you hired somebody who was a very, very bad writer to write this because he can't explain himself. He's never clear. And he doesn't understand redundancy. That's
Let's
a
see.
problem. That's why it'd never
Does
be
the
published.
what does the Arabic say? Okay, let me see. I mean, the amount of work that these translators have to do. Okay, so the word for word, according to here, it says, "and will be brought near the paradise to the righteous, not far." Okay, yeah. This is Yusuf Ali's 1985 rendition. And the garden will be brought nigh to the righteous, no more a thing distant. Okay. Again, how do you bring something that's? I believe that the heart will go on. Yes, the brain might stop. Okay. Uh, okay. This is what we. This is what you were promised to every returned keeper.
What?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? We didn't hear anything about keepers.
Yeah. What does that mean to every returned
Well,
keeper?
we don't even know what the. I mean, okay, a returned keeper, but we don't even know anything about a keeper. Are we talking about a keeper of a promise? That would have to be Allah, because it's Allah is the one who says you were promised.
Maybe the keeper is the one who's keeping the garden, because then it goes on to say it's not just a returned keeper, but to every returned keeper who feared the merciful in secret and came to him with a turned heart.
Okay, so okay. The garden will be brought near to the fearing, not far away. This is what you were promised to every returned keeper who feared the merciful in secret. So you're keeping. Okay, you're believing in Allah secretly. Came to him with a turned heart. Who feared the merciful in secret. Here's again this problem with turned heart. Okay, a turned heart. You believe secretly. Does this mean you're going to believe openly? I mean, or does this mean you're turning away from Allah? I mean, it almost it's problematic. Again, I credit this to the person who wrote this as not having Arabic as a first language, because these problems. I mean, it's bad enough you don't know Arabic as your first language, but you can't communicate. You never told us anywheres. I mean, this is when you write fiction, you plot, you map things out, how you're going to introduce characters. No one has talked about a keeper in this passage. There's no mention of keeper up above. Nothing. Nothing above. You can look and see yourself. I'm going up. I don't see the word keeper up here. The closest I think we came was these drivers and witnesses that nobody knew about. But
Okay, let's
that's
continue.
sad.
34. 34. Enter it in peace. This is the immortality day. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I guess
The
this is the
day,
day you die.
I guess this is the day that you live forever. You're immortal now. You
Okay.
got a stiff penis and the 72 little hoods. They have what they desire in it, and we have more. Okay,
Wait.
what?
Okay. If we is Allah, does Allah need something? I mean, does Allah need more than what somebody else desires? I'm
Huh.
again another problematic passage. This makes Allah physical.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so
apparently,
if I have one cheeseburger, Ella has two. I
yes.
don't know.
Or he has a double bacon cheeseburger. Oh well, wait a minute. Forget the
Well,
bacon.
if Muhammad has 72 virgins that have translucent skin, that means Allah may have 144. Yeah,
Okay. And how many generations before them did we destroy? But what?
we don't even know what
How
they're
did that
talking
get?
about.
How did that get in there?
There's
They
nothing
were.
clear here. It doesn't
They.
fit. This is where I keep saying TBI, traumatic brain injury.
Oh,
That explains this.
but
These
this gets.
incomprehensible,
Yeah,
this statements out of fact. I mean, statements that don't fit. This
But
is
this
the
gets
kind of
even.
these are demonstrative of somebody who has traumatic brain injury.
But this gets even better. They were mightier than them in strength. Mightier than who? So they
TBI,
dug.
TBI,
So,
TBI.
so they dug in the countries. What the hell does that even mean? So they dug in the countries. This is number 36. Let me see
What
what
are you
the
Yeah, well,
digging?
what?
Why are you digging? I mean,
that you dig in your own grave.
they were mightier than them
Maybe
in
they're looking
strength.
for treasure.
Is there any escape? I mean, what I would think the way this is written, it almost sounds like they're digging trenches.
Okay, so the word for word says, and how many we destroyed before them in a generation. They were stronger than them in power, so they explored throughout the lands. Is there any place of escape? Now I guarantee you that is not in the Arabic.
No,
Let me see. What does Google translate this to?
that might. I mean, Google Translate you can't trust, unfortunately, because sometimes they
And how
do.
many people have we destroyed before them from a century? They were more severe than them in tyranny, so they searched the country for more. It's a
This
little
doesn't
bit
make any
better than
sense whatsoever. It's just
I,
incomprehensible. If we look at this again as a person with traumatic brain injury trying to communicate to us, we can't expect them to communicate comprehensively, which is what the Quran does. It doesn't communicate comprehensively. This is that's why I'm becoming more convinced. The person who wrote this had traumatic brain injury. I,
okay.
I'm
What's
just
number
it's
four?
just convincing me more and more.
Number four for many cracks. Okay. Okay. So 37. Surely, and this is a reminder to whoever had a heart or through the hearing. Of course, I had a brain fart. Through the hearing, many cracks while he witnesses. That doesn't make any sense.
It's just, so wait a minute. Let's just go back up here. The title for this passage,
It's cute.
created by
Oh,
Usama, didn't have to do with it being a solid structure because I didn't see any of this in here. Maybe it's just me. I got the Earth is flat part in here.
well, no. The solid part was the very first verse 6. Have they not
Okay.
looked to the heavens above them, how we built it and adorned it, and it does not have any cracks?
Okay.
So, in order for it to have cracks, they would have to be solid.
Okay. I get that. Okay, now I do.
Yeah.
All right. So now we get down here. What about this part? Is there any escape? That just, yeah, it's bad. Okay, surely in this reminder, I'm just thinking Allah needs some severe mental health issues help. um, I think he needs medical assistance. Whoever wrote this needs medical assistance at the very least.
We're all going to need medical help after this. Okay, the 6 day creation is copied from the Bible. Okay. And indeed, we created the heavens and the earth and what is between them in 6 days. And
What
no
is between?
weariness.
Wait. What is between them? What are they
Yeah.
talking about?
Oh, I guess the stars, the planets.
Well, he doesn't.
I mean,
His
who knows?
concept of heaven is definitely different than ours. But
Yes. So he did that in 6 days, and no weariness touched us. Oh, see, that's a problem. No weariness touched us. I don't like that. So be patient in what they say.
wait. No awareness touched him yet. He couldn't remember when he did the first creation a little while ago, and then he was talking about a second creation. Sounds like he got weary and had to take a break.
See, but that's
Or he
definitely
needed a
not.
do-over.
That's definitely not in the first person because I would have written it. No weariness touched me,
Yeah.
and I created the heavens and the earth. And okay.
Allah has a partner. And if it's Jabril, who is supposed to be Shaitan,
No, no,
that's
no.
that's
Jabril. Jabril is supposed to be Gabriel.
Oh,
Iblis.
well, I
Iblis is
can't tell the
supposed to be.
difference in this. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So 39. So be patient in what they say and praise with your Lord's praise. So Allah has praise before the sunrise and before the setting.
Allah has
Okay.
praise. Lord's praise before. Wow.
We don't know. So be patient in what they say. What are they saying? I have no clue. Okay, so pray. Okay, the Lord's prayer before sunrise and before setting, and some of the night. So praise Him after the worship. But I thought you were supposed to praise Him during the worship. But I
Okay, so
guess
praise with your Lord's praise before the sunrise. Okay, pay attention here. Before the sunrise, before the setting. Okay, before the setting of the sun. All right. And some of the night. That's 1, 2, 3. Praise him after the worship. That's 4. And listen for it. That's the next day. At the most, there's 4 periods of prayer here.
yeah.
Praise before the sunrise, before the sunset, and sometimes in some point part of the night. And praise him after the worship. So
I'm seeing three because I
that's what
don't
I
count.
really have is 3.
Yeah, I don't count
This
the
is
so
kind of
praise
together.
Him
These
after
2
the
pieces are
worship
together.
because that doesn't make sense. Why would you praise after you just finished worshiping and praising Him? That's what you do when you worship. You praise.
Yeah, well,
You're
that's why I
praising
would say
God.
I'd put 40. All of verse 40 is one time. So we have
Yeah.
3 periods of worship here.
Yeah, you got sunrise, sunset, and some of the night. Which
Mm-hmm.
okay, 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 41. And listen for a day. The caller will call from a near place. Okay,
That's the call to
a,
prayer we're talking about.
yeah, a day they okay, a day they hear the shout with the truth. This
What's
is
the
the
truth?
coming out. Okay, number 5. Resurrection.
I keep think coming out is if
This
they
is the
use
coming
that word.
out.
I mean, this okay. So these
Okay,
references
maybe
to coming out day. Can you imagine if the gay community is reading this?
see, but what I don't understand is what is 5 referring to? To out, or or is 5 between out and day? Because
But
then
is
they
this
would
the
read,
resurrection again?
this is the coming out resurrection day.
What is resurrection? The day they hear the shout with truth. This, if coming out is a reference to resurrection day, this would mean that they are being a day they hear the shout with truth would resurrect them from the dead. It it just coming out would be okay. So this could be like something that would be understood culturally. Coming out day may mean maybe a reference to resurrection day. Maybe
All right,
something that
40,
would be understood in Arabic culture, as I can think.
43. Surely we give life and we cause death, and to us is the final return. There's that us again.
Allah doesn't
44.
know he's got a partner. I just that makes explains him having DBI.
Could be. 44. A day the earth will be cracked. I think 6 was many places or many cracks.
Well, maybe
Many
he's
cracks. So it's going to
okay.
have
So where is Allah located that he
Allah's in
the
the
writer
heaven.
located that he experiences earthquakes? That's another thing to think about. Because deserts, you don't normally. I think you wouldn't normally experience an earthquake.
I guess you're talking about the people. So a day the earth will be cracked with many cracks, open swiftly for them. This gathering will be easy to us. Man, this is like
This is so
we
badly
know.
written.
Yeah, we know best what they say, and you are not a powerful over them. What does that mean? You are not a powerful what? You are not a powerful over them. So remind by the Quran who fears my heart.
Oh, threat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So reminded by the Quran.
I'm gonna have to work on that brainwave for me. So we
Okay,
are
we know
reminded
by
by the Quran, who
what they
fears my
say that
threat.
you are not. So
Okay.
if I pay attention to what the way this is written, and I'm looking at the author of this as having traumatic brain injury. I have no fear over this guy who they're calling Allah, because this is such poorly communicating that I know that he's not powerful. That's what it says to me. There's no reason to fear any threat from this, except for the people who don't understand. I mean, I'd have a serious problem with people who can't understand there's problems here. That's where I would be fearing. You can't understand there's problems here, something's not exactly right with your critical thinking skills. Your logic center has damage. All right, are we heading on to number 56?
Yeah, we are. Hey, Andrew, what translation are you using?
Oh,
I-
51,
I'm
I'm
just
sorry,
curious.
51.
If you can type in the chat the name of the translation that you're using.
Oh, no. We're not going to do a comparison with Sahih International. That's one of the most corrupt ones.
Oh, is that what he's using?
He's saying he was suggesting it.
Oh, he is using Sahih International.
That's
The
funny.
only reason you fear it is because people are crazy enough to kill you for pointing out nonsense. Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Okay, so 51. Again, I love whoever came up with these chapter titles. I mean, this is beautiful. The scattering.
Well,
The first couple of verses have a problem. I swear by the scattering they scatter. What the
what?
hell does that mean?
And I swear had to be added. I mean,
Right.
this is Usama being kind.
This
All right.
is
If
where are
we
you?
just read this
51.
literally, by the scattering they scatter. Really?
Let's read 51. Yeah. I mean 51 1. I'm gonna go over here and click over here. Now
That
this says by those scattering, dispersing, and those carrying a load. What does Osama say? I swear by the scattering they scatter, so it bears the deafness. So those running easily, so those who distribute by command.
this does this
Jeez
make any sense
Louise.
to anyone? Okay,
No.
scattering they scatter, so it bears the deafness.
I mean,
Those running east
I
and those
actually
who
think
distribute. What? I'd like to know
We
what they're
talk.
distributing.
Okay. So I'm seeing different groups of people. We see scattering bears deafness. So they're okay. So everybody running or everybody scattering can't hear anything. If that, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
you know
Those who
what
distribute by command. All I can
I
think
think.
is maybe this is an attempted reference to the Tower of Babylon.
I mean, I
It
have
does.
no clue.
It's just as much gibberish as the concept of Babylon, the Tower of Babylon. Where the distribution is. It's only that is clearly communicated in the Book of Genesis. But this is as much gibberish as they felt like they were trying to talk to someone they couldn't get through. Yeah.
I'm actually beginning to think that the so-called word for word over at Islam Awakened is not word for word because
No, it's not.
it it,
We've
it,
seen that.
it differs greatly from Osama.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's continue with this beautiful, beautiful. Surely what you promised is only true. Who promised? Who's talking here?
Well, if this is Allah, and if it, I'll say this: if we're talking about God, every promise God should make should be true. Okay, if this is God, we don't know who's talking because we have a problem with it being Allah because it starts out where again Usama being kind and writing I swear. Okay, so if someone's swearing, this should not be Allah speaking. Why would Allah swear by people who are scattering? I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
All right, number 6. And surely the judgment must happen. I swear by the heaven full of ways. Surely you are in a different saying, turned away from it.
Are you getting what I'm saying about TBI at this point?
TBI,
Traumatic brain injury. I mean, this is really. It sounds like someone who doesn't know how to communicate, but that their brain cell isn't. I mean, their logic center doesn't work.
This dude's got everything and then some.
Yeah.
I swear by the heaven full of ways. Surely you are in a differing saying, turned away from it. Who is turned away? Killed the liars, those who in ignorance are heedless. What is that? What is that? I'm
So
telling you this.
Okay, killed the liars, past tense. So listen, turned away from it. Who was turned away? Killed the liars. These are short statements of incomprehension. This is something, again, that would be. I mean, if you were a medical professional reading this, you'd be very, very concerned. You might take this person and give them the mental hygiene review for their own safety. You'd want to make sure someone's around them because this is just incomprehensible ramblings. How could anybody follow someone this incomprehensible? This is where I'm concerned.
I mean, I thought the last chapter was confusing, but no, forget that. This one is taking the case. Okay, killed the liars, those who in ignorance are heedless. They ask, when is the judgment day? A day they will be seduced over the fire. Taste your sedition. This is what you were hastening to. Surely the Fira is in gardens and springs.
Wait,
Talking.
okay, so we have a
Okay.
problem here. We just read how the singular garden was going to be moved. Now we're back to talking about gardens.
Yeah,
So
all is
if the
shifted
fearers
around
are
for
in the
the
garden,
story.
why did the garden have to be moved? Or in gardens, why did the garden have to be moved?
I don't know.
Wow. Chronological impairment.
So surely the Fira is in gardens and springs, taking what their Lord brought them. So Allah brings them stuff. Surely
Physical.
they.
I mean, I can get that. I can get God bringing you stuff. It makes sense, but it's just problematical again.
Is he bringing, or is the little boys bringing them?
Well,
Sure.
I will say this. I've actually. I got it. Hold on. I can. I have to go quiet for a second. Sorry.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up my. Then you.
No, I'll pay attention.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna be able to move it because I'm on my. All right, a day that will be seduced over the fire. Taste your sedition. This is what you were hastening to. Surely the Fira is in gardens and springs, taking what their Lord brought them. Surely surely they were the doers of good before. They slept only a little at night, and at dawn they asked for forgiveness. And from their money there is a due for the beggar and the needy. If you're begging, you definitely are needing. And on the earth are signs for those who are sure. And in your souls you do not see. Okay. I'm sorry. And in your souls do you not see? See what? And in the heavens is your provision, and what you are promised. I have no idea what I've been promised. So I swear by the Lord of the heaven and the earth. Isn't he the Lord of the heavens and the earth? See how Allah or whoever goes from singular to plural? Surely it is truth, like what you speak. I have no idea who's talking here. The story of Abraham and Lot is copied from the Bible and corrupted once again. Notice the contradictions in this account compared to the rest of the Quran. The punishment of Lot's people takes place before the messengers meet with Abraham. Yeah, what's new? So, Paul, can you move it up? All right. Thank you, sir. Oh, not that far. No, keep going down. All right. We need to go to 24. Okay. Has the saying of the honored guest of Abraham come to you? When they entered unto him, so they said, Peace. He said, Peace. Unknown people. So he went to his family. So he brought a fatted calf. So he placed it near them. He said, Will you not eat? So he began to be afraid of them. They said, Do not fear. And they gave him the good news of a young, knowledgeable boy. So his wife, came in shouting. And, next please.
All right, back. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. All right. So his wife came in shouting, and she struck her face. And she said, Old, barren.
Wait. So this woman came in shouting and she struck her face. She strikes her own face?
Yes.
Came in shouting and so she's yelling at herself. She began to be afraid of them. Do not fear. And
Well,
they
I,
gave
I
him.
think she's yelling at the messengers who are talking to Abraham.
So this woman came in shouting and she struck. I mean, it doesn't make sense. She runs in and strikes her face. You would say her own face, but again, this is Arabic as a second language. But this is problematic. I mean, it's just badly written to begin with. But
Oh, maybe one of the messengers was a female and she struck her face.
she
Now
began to
she
be
said
afraid.
old and barren. Okay, that would make no sense. Now, granted, I know why she's saying that because the messenger said that they bring the good news of a young, knowledgeable boy. But wait a minute. How can they bring the news of a young, knowledgeable boy when no boy has been born? That makes no sense. They said, likewise, your Lord said, surely he is the wise, the knowing. He
Who is the
said,
wise? I mean, this
Allah.
is
Allah in his imaginary mind thinks he's wise.
Allah, the guy who has traumatic brain injury. If he's the author of this book, or he wouldn't be wise or knowing in that case. But I mean, you just read the Quran, you'll know he's not wise and knowing. Okay, all right.
So he said, What is your news, O you messengers? Excuse me, but they already told you what the news. So he began to be afraid, do not fear. And they gave him the good news of a young, knowledgeable boy. So why is he asking for the good news? He already got the good news.
Allah likes torture, so whenever he mentions good news, he likes torture. Just mention torture, but what is your news? So this
But
wasn't a mention of good news; it's a mention of news.
yeah, but good news. You snooze, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you messengers. They said, Surely we have been sent to a criminal people to send on them
So
stones of
now we have Abraham. We're talking about Abraham as a criminal. Okay.
Now, did you miss the part where Osama says, Sodom and Gomorrah has already been destroyed when the messengers come to Abraham. But it's in another chapter, it's the other way around. They
Hmm.
come to Abraham first, and then they go to Lot. But apparently, they went to Lot already, and then they came back to Abraham. They said, "Surely we have been sent to a criminal people, that's Sodom and Gomorrah, to send on them stones of mud." Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Marked, okay, marked by your Lord for the extravagant. So we
Okay,
brought.
so if we're going to help the Quran here, um, if we're helping the Quran, we'll try to make some sense out of it. Okay, stones of mud. Okay, we can call it lava, um, coming out of something, which would be a volcano. Allah needs help. Okay, marked by your Lord for the. How is it being extravagant to send stones of mud on people?
Yeah, but apparently the people of Lot and Sodom were extravagant. So
I don't. So they had money to spend.
so
How does
Allah
that?
had to. So Allah couldn't use a really good stone, so he could only find stones made out of mud.
Oh, okay, so the lava was too expensive.
So we brought forth out of it who was among the believers. So we did not find
So
in
wait,
it
wait.
except.
So he brings out Lot and his daughters. Is that what they're saying, right?
Well, that's what the Bible says, but here. So we
Not
brought
clear
out
here.
forth of it who was among the believers. So it's somebody who was a believer. So we did not find in it, I'm assuming it's the criminal people, except one house of Muslims.
Wait a
And we
minute.
left
Oh,
it
wait,
in
wait, wait, wait. Go back up here, verse 32. Surely we have been sent to a criminal people. Okay, they go there. They're sent to the criminal people, but this criminal people has Muslims. So are Muslims now considered criminals?
well, no, what they're saying is among the criminals lived a Muslim family, which would have
But
been Lot
again,
and his
they
family.
were lumped. They're lumped into this.
Yeah.
So that would make the Muslims criminals.
But notice that the problematic of this is that Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed already, and
Mm-hmm.
then the messengers go tell Abraham, and they're telling him what happened. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not the
That's why I
chronological
say
order of
Allah
how
is
things happened.
chronologically impaired. Yeah.
And we left in it a sign to those who fear the painful torment. So clearly, we see that they're talking about something that already transpired, which is wrong. Okay,
Allah is impaired.
the story of Moses and Pharaoh was copied from the Bible and corrupted once again. This is
But
a
how many
very short.
times do they have to
Now,
do this?
okay, but let me ask you a question. How in the hell is 3 verses a story?
It's too much
I
for
mean,
Allah to
this
communicate.
is this has got to be. I mean, Allah. I mean, Cliff Notes have nothing on Allah because Allah beats Cliff Notes. I mean, I used to buy the Cliff Notes on certain subjects, especially when I had to do a book report. But Allah here, I mean, look at that. In 3 verses, you get the whole story of Moses and Pharaoh. And in Moses, we sent him to Pharaoh with the clear authority. So he turned away in his corner and said, "What?
This doesn't.
A
This part here
sorcerer
doesn't make
or a
sense to me.
demon?"
In his
Oh,
corner. I
okay.
mean, what's he talking
So
about? That doesn't.
I guess
That
Pharaoh
could
turned
be a
away.
cultural reference. Is all I can guess.
So I guess Pharaoh turned away and said, "A sorcerer and or demon possessed." So we
But
see.
a
Go
sorcerer
ahead.
demon possessed is an incomplete thought.
Yeah. So we seized him and his troops. So we cast them into the sea, and he was blamed. Okay, but
What? Okay.
I,
We seized him and his troops. We cast them into the sea, and he was blamed. So how can you
but
get blamed if you're dead?
he was blamed for what? But here's the thing. I thought they followed Moses and they drowned. Here it says Allah threw them into the sea.
Well, we've seen that before in the Quran,
Yeah.
but again, we have to remember Allah has TBI, and He doesn't know. He can't communicate clearly because he now thinks he can tell this story. Allah is cruel. He throws people and purposely into the this is not helping anyone. I mean, the only ones
Oh,
who drowned were the people who ran after to try and kill the Jews.
I like
So these
Darcy,
people
man.
were trying to kill Jews, and Allah killed them. Oh, what does that say? If you're
Darcy's cracking me up. The chocolates had nuts in them, so now it's a box of nuts. Oh man.
well,
Oh, I
just keep
miss them.
remembering this. It's in the Quran that Allah kills those who who try or attempt to kill Jews. It's in the Quran.
All right, so these are the stories of Ad, Thamud, and Noah, which were
Oh, wait a
invented
minute.
for.
Did we just talk about Moses?
Yes.
So
So,
here's another example of Allah's chronological impairment.
so now we're going back to a time that we don't know because we don't know when the people of Ad lived. We don't know when the people of Thamud lived. We know when
We
Noah
know about
lived.
Noah, but Allah
Okay,
doesn't know that. I mean, he doesn't. He lines all these people up, and Ad and Tamud couldn't have been there because they would have drowned. So if he puts them all at the same time, well, Allah's chronologically impaired.
okay, 41. And in Ad, we sent the barren wind on them, and it did not leave anything as it came over, except it made it like decay.
So that
And
sounds
in,
like a dry heat to me.
or it could have
A
been
wind like that.
it could have been one of those nasty sandstorms. You don't want to be in one of those.
Yeah, I guess that would be that could work for decay. Yeah,
Yeah. And in Talmud, and it was said to them, enjoy for a while.
it's
So
kind
they
of
revolted.
like enjoying torture, which is Allah does. Yeah.
So they revolted against the command of their Lord. So a thunderbolt seized them as they looked on.
Okay, let me ask this question: if your God said He sent you something that caused the area to decay, and He said enjoy it, are you going to revolt? Because I would. Your God isn't worth my worship if He did that. And then He said enjoy it. Well, isn't that I mean, this is every reason for people to revolt against a fake God.
I mean, I guess every one of them got struck by a lightning bolt.
So they revolted against the command of their Lord. So a thunderbolt seized them. Okay, this is a singular thunderbolt seized them as they looked on. Okay,
That's one big
okay.
thunderbolt.
Listen, they didn't get hurt. They looked on. I mean, the thunderbolt seized them and held them. Okay.
All right,
Listen,
so that didn't make sense, but that's okay. Let's go on. 45.
Maybe they
So
was
they were
Wonder
not.
Woman.
Go ahead.
it says 45.
I'm
It
just
says,
wondering if Wonder Woman was there.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I know I didn't hear you.
I'm just wondering if Wonder Woman was there.
Oh, she was
It's just
flying her
making me
transparent
wonder.
plane. No, but she has the golden lasso. That would be Zeus. So they were not able to stand up, and they were not helped. Okay.
Well, again, it. So they got struck by lightning. Okay, they're laying down on the ground. Nobody helps them, but it doesn't say they got killed. They're okay. They're getting back up on their own, is what it implies. He didn't hurt them. They revolted against him because he's powerless. He threw a little bit of salt. Yeah, okay. We're not serving you.
All right.
That's the message.
46. So apparently, Ad and Thamud were before Noah. I guess. I don't know. And the people of Noah before that.
Okay, so Noah comes before Ad, but why does he? This is just confusing.
So okay, so Noah came first, and then I guess Ad, then I guess
But he has to
Thamud.
go and put them in the reverse order.
Yeah.
This is on again Allah's chronological impairment.
Okay, so we go 46. And the people of Noah before that, surely they were a transgressing people.
So
And
Noah's family is a transgressing people.
yeah. Well, it says the people of Noah, not Noah.
The people of Noah, which would mean
Right.
his family at the very least.
Well, Allah doesn't know the concept of what that means. All right, so okay, 47. And heaven we built with hands, and surely we will enlarge it. Okay,
Where did
and
they build
we,
it? Okay, that they built the heaven was built. So heaven is built with physical hands.
yeah,
Wow.
and surely Allah will enlarge it. I think Allah was playing with clay, or maybe Play-Doh. And we spread the earth, so blessed are the flatteners. How many flatteners are they?
Okay, pound that
I
earth
wonder.
down.
The rolling
Hey,
pin.
you got a lump over there,
Oh,
man.
I was just gonna say it. Get your steamroller here.
And from everything we have created two pairs. Perhaps you will remember. Now, I have a problem when Allah says, and from everything
Well,
we have
Allah
created
doesn't
two
know about
pairs.
asexual reproduction.
And what does it mean by two pairs? Does it mean male and female? Because there's lots of creatures that don't have pairs.
Well, okay, everything we have created two pairs. So if Allah doesn't know about asexual reproduction,
Yeah.
then the question is why does he create two pairs if he only needs one?
I mean, you got viruses, you got fungi, you got bacteria, you got
Mm-hmm.
the whiptail lizard, you got the blind snake. I mean, you got lots of things that are not created in pairs. Also, the mule is not created in pairs.
Well, it's created in pairs, but they're not the same.
Right.
Yeah. So fleet.
So okay, so created two pairs. Perhaps you will remember. I don't know. So flee to Allah. Surely I am a plain warner to you from him.
Okay, so I remember now. I remember Allah has no clue. So I'm warning you all. Stay away from him. Sorry. This doesn't make this is so bad. Everything we have created too. Allah doesn't know about asexual reproduction. He thinks the earth needs to be flattened. Anybody with a a third grade education would know Allah has problems here.
Yeah, but
I don't even
Andrew,
think
Andrew,
I don't even know if you need a third grade education.
but Andrew, see the problem is that when Allah says and from everything, you can't exclude anything. That means everything. So we should see two suns. Now Muslims will say, yeah, see, you got the proton and the neutron, you got day and night, you got the sun and the moon, and all this kind of crap. But it doesn't exclude anything, and there's lots of things that are not created in pairs. So Allah is just he's ignorant.
It's
So then,
so, and the question is, why did Allah need to create 4 versus 2?
yeah, I don't know. 52. Likewise, no messenger has ever come to those before them, except that they said, a sorcerer or demon possessed. What is it with Allah and these
Okay,
messengers?
I think these are statements that are constantly being made to the idiot who sounds like he has TBI, who is talking. And now that could be Muhammad. And these people are saying, hey, you're a sorcerer. Hey, you sound demon possessed. Well, I mean, during the time period we're talking about, if you had TBI and you talked like this, they would probably think you are what we call a nutcase today, or you would think you were mentally ill. we don't usually call you in that case. We say you need mental help. We will, the police will come along, and if you don't have someone assisting you, they'll probably help you find a facility. If needed, you need mental health to the point where you can't take care of yourself, you will get mental hygiene arrested in the United States, and we'll find a facility that can help you. If you refuse that, usually you become homeless, unfortunately.
Okay, 53. Have they handed it down to each other?
What?
Well, I guess he's saying because everybody always says that the messenger is either a sorcerer or demon possessed. So then he says, like, I guess he's trying to say it's kind of like they have a script, but Allah has a script. I mean, just read chapter 26. All his prophets say exactly the same freaking thing. Have they handed it down to each other? Like, meaning, they all told each other the same story and they retell the same story? Yet they are a rebellious people. So turn away from them so you will not be blamed. And remind. So surely the reminder benefits the believers. Okay. That's some poor conjugated sentences. Allah creates the jinn and people to serve him, but you and I are not serving Allah. So Allah failed
Well,
somewhere down
again,
the line.
we're going backwards and backwards and backwards. This is just more demonstration that Allah is chronologically impaired.
And have I not created the jinn?
No. And I have not.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I have not created the jinn and the humans. Now notice jinn seems to be singular, but
Yeah,
the
it is
humans are
singular.
definitely
But jinn could
plural.
be. I'm not going to say. I'm going to say that jinn here, in this sense, the way it's written, makes jinn a. It almost sounds like the word, like in there's
Yeah,
like deer. The
yeah, I know
deer
what
can
you're
be
saying.
used singular and can be used plural. So I'm curious if jinn is the same way.
All right, let me check. Corpus Quran. This is what chapter? Chapter 51, right?
51, 56.
51, 56. Go and word by word. And not I have created the jinn. It doesn't say. It just says an accusative masculine noun.
Well, I'll give it an allowance like the word deer
Yeah,
because it
yeah,
makes sense if it is. Okay.
yeah.
If
I,
it's not, then that's another issue altogether. But
yeah,
then
your
that's
example.
the Arabic as a second language if that's the case.
Yeah, your example would be correct. Like using deer. Deer could apply to a single deer, or deer could apply to as a group. You know, look at the deer, honey. Right? You don't say look at the deers. Well, I guess you could say look at the deers, but
Yeah, and you'd probably think, oh, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I usually have little kids will say deers, not
so turn away.
adults.
Okay, so turn away from them so you will not be blamed, and remind. So surely the reminder benefits the believers.
It doesn't. I say turn away from Allah. I'm sorry, turn away. This
So,
doesn't.
so,
Why
so,
would you
so
serve somebody that's this bad?
but I'm reading this again,
Oh,
and
I
I
like
have.
Andrew Martin's comment here.
Let me see what
Mo forgets that Allah has angels.
no, I think Mo forgets lots of things. And I have not created the jinn and the humans except to serve me. I do not desire a provision from them, and I do not desire that they feed me.
Oh, wait a minute. Allah needs to eat. Does
This is
Allah
almost
need to
like
eat?
this is almost like saying that Allah can feed himself.
Yeah.
You know, surely Allah, He is the provider, the possessor of power, the strong.
It doesn't
59.
sound very strong if he needs to eat
All
something.
right, surely. So surely to those unjust sins, like the sins of their companions, so they do not hasten me.
Okay, I just want to remind people here. In the last chapter, Allah revealed he had a companion. And he
60
keeps,
in the end of the chapter. So
yeah.
woe to those who became infidels on their day of which they are promised. So wait a minute, people became infidels on the day of resurrection? That makes no sense.
If that's well, it makes sense because if you listen to this and you read this, any chance you get, you're going to leave. Oh, Marion, I could have sworn 2 pairs means 2 females, and plus 2 males equals 4. Or did I OT on Quran and go bonkers? Marion, you're exactly right. Allah doesn't know that he actually used the word that would be, he described 4.
Okay, so we have two options. We can continue in 52. What do we got? We got 25 minutes.
We can do that. I don't see why not.
Okay. Don't know if we'll be able to finish, but we will get pretty
Up
close.
to you. You're the runner.
Let's go. 52, the mountain. Da, 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 da. Do I have something here?
The
Let's
mountain.
Let me see. Where's my little box? Cheer. Yeah, we got to do some cheers. All right, make sure it
Is this
stops
the
sharing.
technical halfway point in Quran? Are we there? Are we
Yeah.
past that?
Oh no, we're not there yet. We got to get to 57. So we got 5 more chapters before we hit the halfway mark.
The
I
halfway
may have
of the surahs, you mean?
I may have to get drunk that day. All right.
Um,
Okay. The mountain. These
we have
chapters seem
another
to all
example
start
of
with "I swear."
we have
I
another example of
swear
Osama being kind
by
again.
the mountain in the book that's written. Okay, I swear by the mountain and by the written book. Which written book? And an open rack. What's number one? Number one is scroll. By the open scroll and by the inhabited house. Somebody's got something in the background. That would be Mr. Paul. Okay, I don't know what that means by the inhabited house. And by the raised ceiling. Man, look at all the things that this person swears. I swear by the mountains and by the written book and an open scroll and by the inhabited house and by the raised ceiling and by the throned sea. Surely the torment of your Lord is imminent. Ooh, that's not a problem. Allah doesn't know what the word imminent means. I mean,
The torment of your Lord is imminent.
it has been over 1400 years and I don't see anything being imminent.
It's happening. It's been happening.
There is not any who can avert it. A day the heavens will be troubled with troubling. What does that mean?
Is this not another example of Allah not having a big vocabulary?
Ooh, ooh. And the mountains will walk. Walking. Okay.
Okay, I
So
want to
woe.
know anyone who has seen a mountain walking. If you've seen a mountain walking, I'm willing to say you probably need more mental health help than. Again,
So
if you have TBI, maybe you may put these words together. I don't know. I'd still be very
I
concerned.
mean, if you see mountains walking, man, you are smoking some good stuff.
I don't know what else to
I
say
think the
about that.
I think the FDA might want some of that stuff.
Yeah, but they'll call it
Yeah,
a
don't.
vaccine.
Yeah, so make sure that everybody gets
Yeah.
it. So woe on the day to the deniers, those who are
What are they
engaged
denying? That
in,
the mountains are up walking?
I guess, those are the
Okay,
ones who didn't.
I'm going to be one of these deniers because I don't think mountains get up and walk around.
Those are the ones who won't be smoking the piety. Those are engaged in sporting. So if you're
In
a denier,
sporting, okay,
you
again, to
are engaged
declare,
in
so people
sporting.
understand, sporting in the Old Testament is a man touching his wife.
In
And that
a
is
very
what that
sexual manner.
means. And usually has to do with a male touching a female's breasts.
Ooh. All right. A day they will be called to the fire of hell, calling, "This is the fire which you were denying it. Is this a sorcery? Or do you not see?" I don't know.
Oh,
Roast in
so
it.
wait, this is really confusing. A day they'll be called to the fire of hell. So these people are called to the fire of hell, and then they are saying, who's saying this? A day they will be called to the fire of hell, calling, "This is the fire which you were denying."
I'm guessing it's Allah or Muhammad. Who knows? You flip a coin and you got 50-50 chance of being right.
Oh my gosh.
Roast, roast in it. So be patient. Trust me, if I'm going to be roasting in it, I ain't going to be patient.
Or do
Or do not be patient. You got an echo again, Paul.
don't drop. Okay. Better?
Let me see. Yeah, I don't. Testing.
Okay.
It's still there.
I'll have to... Is that any better?
You and your fancy. Yeah, I don't. It's
Usually
very
I don't have
faint,
that.
but
You can't hear it in the
yeah.
background normally. Okay.
Roast in it. So be patient and do not be patient. Or do not be patient. No, it's still back there, man. What kind of fancy equipment do you have?
It's supposed to be a directional mic, and it shouldn't be picking up anything behind it.
Ah. Okay, so roast in it, so be patient or do not be patient. It will be the same for you. For surely you are only rewarded for what you were doing.
We don't know what they were doing. We talked to, there could be some sexual innuendo over here.
Apparently they were sporting.
Yeah.
Okay, in the gardens, the believers praise Allah for food, drink, virgins, and beautiful boys. But Bubza said there will be no praising Allah. You'll be too busy with the food, the drink, the virgins, and the boys. Allah don't need your praise. Surely the Fira in gardens and bliss, rejoicing in what their Lord has given them, and their Lord guards them from the torment of hell. Now, why would he have to guard them from the torment of hell? If they're with him, is there somebody else that can take them away and throw them in hell? Eat and drink blessedly because of what you were doing.
Wait. Okay. They're in hell, and now they're eating and drinking blessedly?
No. They're not in hell. These are the fears. These are in the gardens in bliss. They're rejoicing
So
in what
guards them from the torments of hell. Okay. All right. Sorry.
yeah. So these people ain't they ain't in hell. So Allah says, eat and drink blessedly because of what you were doing. Reclining on beds, arranged in rows, and we married them to the Hurrites. Wait a minute. Why would I want to be in reclining beds arranged in rows? I mean, Allah is what do you call it?
Pervert.
He's not only a pervert, but he doesn't believe in privacy.
He wants everybody to have sex openly.
Yeah, this is kind of like
Together. This is
Caligula.
a massive he's a voyeur. That's the right word.
This is kind of like back in the days of the Romans, especially
And the
like
Romans and the
Caligula.
Greeks haven't.
Right,
This is
where
an
they would have
orgy.
these,
This is a
where,
description of
yeah,
a massive orgy.
where they would have these massive orgies and everybody could partake in it and
Oh
everybody
my
could see
gosh.
what everybody was doing.
Okay. Warning. No small children listening, please. Oh my God.
Okay, 21. And those who believed and their offspring followed them in faith. We associated their offspring with them, and we did not deprive anything from them of their work. Every man is bound by what he has earned, and we aid them with fruit and meat from what they lust for.
Wait, so are you catching this? Allah is aiding lust,
Yes.
and so if we're talking about lust, he's giving them fruit and meat so they can go back and engage in it. Okay, you had your lust fulfilled. Go back, have a nice meal, and go back at it again. It's okay. I'm watching.
Now,
Oh,
remember, according to Muslims, you will not pee, you will not poop. So Allah has made you into a well
an
designed
efficient
machine
machine.
that takes everything that you eat is converted to nothing. I don't know how that happens because that defies the law of thermodynamics.
So this is, as
Got to
Marion
be
says,
changed.
that's what Muhammad told his companion who had married an adult woman. Why didn't you marry a little girl instead so you could sport with her? Again, backs up what I said. Andrew Martin, a god of lust. Well said,
Yes,
both of you.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. They will tug a cup of wine. Of wine is Osama from one another. So you're going to be drinking. I mean, you're going to be swapping spit
Well,
with
we
other
do know
people.
in heaven they do talk. I mean, and the Bible talks about wine and stuff in heaven, food in heaven. There's a feast in heaven. I think that they grasp some of these concepts, but they had to pervert it with Gnosticism, which is just so sad.
So you're going to tug. So they will tug a cup of wine from one another. There will not be any vain talk, nor cause to sin.
Okay, I have a problem with this. Okay, lust is sin.
Not in Allah's heaven.
Allah
It's not.
doesn't know that. I mean, this is another another sample of Allah doesn't know. Vain talk. You can't tell me you're having all these sexual escapades out in the open in front of others, and there won't be any vain talk. Yeah.
Welcome, Sister Leia. How you
Thank
doing?
you.
Oh,
On time as usual.
yeah. Close your little one's ears. You don't want her to hear this. This is. Oh.
So where do we leave off? Okay, 24. And young boys will go around them as if they were covered. What's number 2? As if they were covered, hidden in pearls.
This
And
is
some of
the Bachi boys.
and some of them came to the others, asking each other. They said, "Surely we were before anxious among our families. So Allah has granted to us, and He has saved us from the torment of this samum." Number 3.
Allah is a pervert. He likes little boys.
Non-Arabic word meaning that some claim to mean the hot wind, the fire, the breath of fire, ill winds, torment, scorching blast, or wind. Whew, that's a handful.
Wow.
In other words, it's a word that nobody knows what it means because it's not an Arabic word.
Oh, could that mean again that the writer here is writing in Arabic as a second language?
Could be.
Yeah.
All right, 28. Surely we were calling on him before. Surely he is the righteous, the merciful. So
Wait, who
remind.
are
Righteous
we
and
calling them?
merciful, likes little boys, and likes to watch over orgies. This
And
is
who are we even calling on?
I have no clue. Allah, I guess.
this
This
is
is the
just
book
this
of
is
you
Read the
guess.
comment. Read the last comment
I
from
feel like
Darcy.
Allah. No, Darcy, that is Satan accusing
yes,
you
that's
here.
exactly what just happened. I apologize to everybody. Ugh.
Okay,
Paula's a
so
problem with
let me
excuse
go
us
back
back
up
here.
to sure. All right, 28.
So I need
28.
to go take a shower after this.
All right,
Oh,
28. Surely we were calling on him before. Surely he is the righteous, the merciful. So remind by the grace of
Allah
your
calls
Lord.
himself righteous after being such a perv. I'm sorry.
So remind, by the grace of your Lord, you are not a kahan. Number 4, a soothsayer, a non-Arabic word of Aramaic origin. So you are not a soothsayer, nor demon possessed.
Okay, I disagree. The person who wrote this is such a pervert that I have no problem believing he was demonically possessed. That he spoke about a god that would oversee a massive orgy of rows of people. Sorry, this is. And then he said he was going to feed their lust.
Yep.
That's more likely a demon possessed person.
Let's move on to 30. Or do they say, a poet, let us await for him the disaster? Poor written verse there. 31, say, await. So surely I am with you among the waiters. Huh.
What?
What is he waiting for?
He's waiting.
I'm waiting
Now,
for
who's
my
waiting?
dinner. No, I'm
Is-
sorry. No, I'm waiting to place my order.
That's what I was thinking.
Or do they, okay, or do their dreams command them of that?
Oh, I have to say that I'm really scared here because we just talked about a god of lust that feeds your lust. And if you're placing an order with a god of lust, ugh, oh, God, I don't
Right.
want that delivered.
Or do they, okay, or are they a rebellious people? Or do they
Oh,
say, you say it? Okay. Or do they say, you say it? What's number
yeah, I was a
5?
pervert. They say,
Number 5, made it up.
uh,
Or do they say, you made it up? Yet they do not believe. Believe in what? We don't
the
know.
god of lust.
So let them bring a saying like it if they were truthful. Is this another challenge? Another
Easy,
Quranic
easy.
challenge?
Anybody can do this. Anybody can write something better, please.
I know. 35. Or had they created anything without me,
The funny
or
thing
are they
is
creators?
there's already something better written than it. So the Bible. So
Yes.
it's a
Oh,
defeated
yes, they are. There is something
line.
far better. It's called the Bible. And it's not such a perverted yeah, I definitely need to take a shower.
All right. So 36. Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Yet they are not certain. Or do they have the treasuries of your Lord? Or are they the dominators? Rhymes with
Why does that
terminate.
sound like a movie for Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I know. I shall be the denominators. I will come back for you on Hell Day, and I will twist your neck around. I promise I'll be back. That wasn't too bad.
I remember we were just talking about sexual perversions, statements, and you know, it's kind of
Or do,
follows through. Ugh.
or do, or, or do they have a ladder? They hear in it. What?
Does
What the
Allah not
hell?
know what a ladder is?
So let their listeners bring the manifest authority.
Okay, the TBI just came out. The ladder
I
they
tell
hear.
you, man. Or does he? Number 6.
I
Allah.
know what just
Wait.
happened.
Oh,
Or
okay,
do they have a ladder they hear in it? We're having a moment of aphasia because the TBI is getting worse.
okay. Or does he have the daughters and you have the sons?
Oh,
Or do you ask for a wage from them so that they are overburdened by debt? Sound like the United States.
Saved by
That,
the
that ring,
ringtone.
saved by the ringtone. Hey, it looks like we will be able to finish. Or do they have the unseen, so they write? I don't know what that means. Or do they desire schemes? So those who became infidels are the schemers. Or do they have a God other than Allah? Praise be to Allah above what they partner. And if they see a large piece of the heavens falling down, ooh, heaven can't fall down. Would they say a dense cloud? I don't know. So leave them until they meet their day, in which they will be thunderstruck. I gotta, I gotta get some. Do I have a thunderstruck on that? No, I don't.
This is when you need like a sound effect for
I
the
know
song.
I have a small one here, but unfortunately, thunderstruck is not one. Let me see. We got okay. We'll use this one. Okay. A day their schemes will not benefit them anything, and they will not be helped. And surely to those unjust ones will be a torment without that. Okay, what does that mean? But most of them do not know what. And be patient of the judgment of your Lord. So surely you are in our eyes, number
Whose
7,
eyes? Plural.
under our protection. So you are under our protection and praise with your Lord's praise. So Allah has his own praise. When you stand, make sure you don't do it when you're sitting down. And part of the night, so praise him. And the stars retreat. Alhamdulillah, we are done.
Oh, I'm glad
Five,
we are today. I definitely need to
five
go take a
minutes to
shower.
spare. I didn't think we were going to do it.
What I was saying is you should have downloaded like the song Thunderstruck and play.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm going to have to probably read ahead and see what kind of naughtiness I can get into. Okay, Mr. Paul, please bring up number 53, the chapter of the storm, so that I know where to begin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I got a special treat for you. Something that will make you laugh. Now, Darcy and Paul have seen it before. In case you guys don't know, I've been working on some YouTube channels. Something to do when I finish reading the Quran and start writing books.
Hey,
So
I just want to say, Leah, I know what you said, and I'm sorry, Kufar, but I just want to let you know, Marion agrees with you. It says not bad. Muhammad prophesied ACTC thunderstruck.
Can't believe no one made a video on that yet. Like,
no.
you know, some Donwood team could really
Andrew
use
Martin,
this.
same thing.
So I did these today. I spent the whole day. I didn't go on Clubhouse. They're probably like, what happened to him? So I was playing around with my new video editor, putting together some stuff for my channel. So this was just for fun. I was testing out some stuff.
Oh, baby.
That's what I need to put on there. Oh, baby. All right, so I did that. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Let me see. Video.
Well, hopefully this is not so naughty, this next chapter, but it's pretty bad when you read something that's supposed to be considered scripture and you find so much perversion in it. Ugh. Samuel Bass, is that the Dr. Kufar baby?
This is what you need after reading the Quran. No, it's not going to baby. So I'm working with something called brainwave entrainment. So I'm doing all of these different things that work with the brain frequency. So I'm putting together all these videos and audio.
Why is it so slow though? The words.
Oh, because it's going along with it's a 1 minute video, so it's going with the book. The dog is very calm. Vic, you came at the end, showing you what I was doing today. I was playing around with stuff. Yeah, right there. Take the power nap.
All right. This is Kufar's experiment.
Yes, I've been playing around called espresso. So at work, when you're falling asleep, you listen to this. Now, this is only a minute clip. You listen to this, and this will refresh you. This will be like a cup of espresso.
I'm sorry. I need the coffee. Forget forget the drip.
That
So
looks
I've
really tasty.
huh?
Today it's
It looks really good.
I know.
this big game energy.
So yeah, so I've been playing around with my video editor. I've been downloading songs and videos and everything else.
Oh, built for speed. Allah's dedicated to Muhammad is stroked by Billy Squire, the O aorta version.
I'll have to
I gotta go look for that one.
I have to find something to play. There was something to play. Uh, and those were all 1 minute. Now this one here is 35 minutes long. So you hear that funny buzzing? That's a brainwave working on your brain. Unfortunately, the song is only like 30 seconds. All right, no, I won't bore you guys. So that's what I've been doing in my since I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've been playing with my, I guess you could say, new toys. I've been using Brainwave. You know what? Let me see if I can share one of the programs that I use. Where is? Oh, here we go. All right. Let me see if I can share it. I'm not sure. It's a software. I should be able to do it. Share the screen. We want to share a window. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the program that I use to create those lovely brain entrainments. This is called G Neural. It is free, and what it does is it creates. You have to know about, you know, how to use the different bass frequencies. Okay, and then your beat frequency is what your brain is being trained to focus on, like alpha, theta, beta, gamma, blah blah blah. So then, if you play it, and you listen to that, and that's
I
what it is.
unfortunately have to run, Kufar.
Okay. Well,
All right.
have a
Let's
good
see
one.
y'all. Thank you all for being here.
All right.
God bless.
Hey,
Yeah, thanks for
hey,
coming, Paul.
God bless you, Paul.
God bless.
hey, Mick. That was just funny that you mentioned peyote because I do have a brain entrainment for that. It so happens to be called peyote. Let me see if I can find it. So we went over a little bit over. Where is it? Where is it? Peyote. Side preset completed. Peyote. I know it was here somewhere. I've got like hundreds of these things. I got one's called cocaine. Met Xanax. So if anybody needs some Xanax, Kava Kava. Got stuff for fibromyalgia. If you've got small intestine issues, like if you're constipated, you listen to that and you will be unconstipated. Now, I can't find a peyote, which is weird because it's here somewhere. Uh, there's cocaine. So anyway, I can't find it. So
Yeah,
it's
you
past
have
two
Dr.
hours.
Good.
Leah, thank you for
You
showing
said
up.
Dr.
Darcy,
Good?
thank you for showing up.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to do one tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I think, not 100% sure. Kufophobia. No one else can read the Quran like you. Yeah, I try to add some humor to it. Maybe one of these days I'll use one of my alter ego voices. So anyway, folks, thank you for coming. Hope you guys enjoyed the stuff that I've been doing. I might share. I don't want your drug. Stop pushing it. Hey, I'm giving you digital drugs, not the kind that you go around the corner. You know what I mean? No. So that's what I'm doing. I am.
He'll probably tell you, stay in online school, no drugs, kids.
I am going into. I'm trying my hand at becoming a online YouTube content creator. Those people are making a crap load of money. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'm ending the show. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. I hope you didn't lose that many brain cells. I will chipmunk voice, please. Okay, I'll try to do that. I will create a brainwave for you guys so that you can listen to after you listen to the Quran, and it's going to help you to replenish any lost brain cells that I'm not responsible for. I'll let you guys know. So again, thank you for coming. Good night, good morning, because I know some of you guys it's 2 o'clock in the morning. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock for episode number 61. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Oh,
Good
oh, oh, oh,
night.
oh.
God bless.
We gotta do an exo. I even remember where it's at. Videos. Nope, nope, nope. It's not here. It's in dissecting the Quran. Here we go. Oops, I gotta add some sound to it. There you go. All right, now I can end the show. God bless everybody.